One Take once again, and this week we are going to be focusing on the rebel within the BJP. And guess who? Yes, I'm talking about Varun Gandhi, or Feroz Varun Gandhi as he prefers to call himself. I remember the first time I met him is when he was in the midst of this huge controversy because he made a comment at a rally in Pilibhit against a minority community. He was picked up by the then Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Mayawati, under the NSA, and he was inside jail for 19 days. He came out, he gave a series of interviews, and I remember he seemed very rattled, he was upset, he was angry and very earnest. What he kept on telling me in my interview with him was, I am not like that. I am not against any particular community. They have misjudged him. But you know, within the BJP, many were actually happy with his comment because this fitted into their narrative of Hindutva. Suddenly, he became the Hindu poster boy of the BJP. And that is where the rise and rise of Varun Gandhi remained. He was a part of the important committees of the BJP. He would travel extensively to BJP, to Uttar Pradesh, take part in various lectures. He's a very prolific writer as well, has written a book on poems. He is one of the few leaders who can actually rattle off the caste combinations. I remember when I would go to meet him, and he knows I'm from West Bengal, he would actually mention the caste combinations. He would actually give me a breakup. And this is true not just about Bengal or Uttar Pradesh, but about other states as well. And this was a stark contrast to his cousins, Rahul Gandhi as well as Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. And therefore, those comparisons were always inevitable. And for the BJP, when he, along with his mother, joined the BJP, this was seen as a huge ground, a huge USP. Imagine someone from the Gandhi family is actually not joining the Congress, but is actually joining the BJP. And that's where his power came in from. As I said, he rose and rose, but he was always seen as someone who had his ambitions, but he was always restless. And in many ways, people would call it the arrogance of a Gandhi, but the real fact is that he was someone who had a mind of his own. And he, like his mother, was at times very blunt, not very tactful, which landed him into trouble. Now, for example, in 2013, he goes to Uttar Pradesh, and at a rally, he actually praises Rajnath Singh and almost projects him as the Prime Minister. This is just a year ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. In 2014, when Narendra Modi, the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, was doing a rally in Bengal, he actually gives a quote where he says that I didn't find the crowd to be as huge as it is made out to be. This is something which has not gone down very well, and when Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister, I think he remembered that. Second, he never had this kind of an affinity for the Gandhi surname. There was a kind of a disdain. There was no awe for the Gandhi surname. The plank on which Modi came to power was against Gandhi. Even today, he has actually a personal animosity to the Gandhi family because he feels that he has been ill-treated by them. They've picked at him personally, a personal targeting of the Prime Minister and of Narendra Modi when he's the Chief Minister of Gujarat, and therefore he's not forgotten that. And therefore, unlike the rest of the BJP, when Varun Gandhi joined the BJP, he's certainly not mesmerized by the Gandhi surname, and this remembers. And also in the party like the BJP, your open display of ambitions is something which is neither understood nor appreciated. And this was something which never went down very well with Varun Gandhi. Now, they have a couple of incidents which have really happened of late, which actually raises and makes us understand why that gulf seems to be widening between him and the party. The two biggest controversies of recent times. One, the Lakhimpur Kheri, in which we saw that Priyanka Gandhi took the lead and she went there, she stayed there, she made this a big issue. She asked this question of the Prime Minister repeatedly, that why is it that the father of the accused continues to remain a member of the cabinet? Pretty much a similar question was actually asked by Varun Gandhi in a tweet. Didn't go down well, understandably why, from the BJP. That's one. Second, of late, when the farm laws have been repealed, you know, the opposition parties and the Kisan representatives are saying this is not enough. We also want a legal guarantee to be given to the MSP. That's exactly what Varun Gandhi has also tweeted. Again, a language which is very similar to the Congress, to the opposition parties, and of course to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, his most favorite cousin. He's never had a very good equation with Rahul Gandhi, but with Priyanka, I remember he would tell me that, you know, when he was small, she was the one who looked after him. I remember in one of my first interviews to him, he actually showed me two things: a handwritten note from Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to him on his birthday, and also the pen which his Dadi, that is Indira Gandhi, had given him, which he treasures till today. These are those little nuances of Varun Gandhi which remains. And in fact, I remember he told me that when his daughter was born, the first one to greet him really was Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, and she in fact came to meet him. She meets him also. But is that enough for him to join the Congress party? I know there's a lot of speculation every time Varun Gandhi speaks out. There was a speculation midway that he's going to be joining the Congress. But let's analyze why it's actually not going to benefit anyone. Why will it benefit Varun Gandhi? Why would he want to play a second fiddle to, say, a Priyanka Gandhi or to Rahul Gandhi? Now, if you look at the Congress party, despite the fact that Rahul Gandhi lost in Amethi, he's not been able to deliver electorally to the Congress party. He's still considered to be a de facto leader, the president. The entire party revolves around him. So in that sense, where does Varun Gandhi fit in? Now, Priyanka may enjoy a personal equation with Varun Gandhi, but even she knows that there is no choice between her brother and her cousin. It's obviously going to be her brother. And therefore, Varun Gandhi, knowing his nature, would never want to play second fiddle to Rahul Gandhi as far as even Uttar Pradesh or even the national narrative is concerned. That's as far as the Congress goes. But for the Congress, Varun Gandhi would be an advantage. As I said, he's articulate. He's one of the few leaders who's young and who understands how to play with the ground, the grassroots. And there's a paucity of those kind of leaders as far as the Congress is concerned. So he certainly would be an asset. But at the end of the day, a politician also has to look after his own interests, and Varun would certainly not see that advantage if he joins the Congress. So what's his political future? Remain within the BJP? Well, it's very clear that he is in the BJP now, but he has not much of a role to play. He is not a part of the executive committee. Is he used for campaigns? No. In the heat and dust of UP elections, where we are seeing it coming up, he's not being used extensively. In fact, he's not being used at all. You don't even see his posters anywhere. You see leaders of the BJP, younger ones, going from the other states to Uttar Pradesh, but Varun Gandhi doesn't seem to be going there. So that sidelining has begun. And with these two comments which have come in, I think the BJP will find it very, very difficult to kind of accommodate Firoz Varun Gandhi. What are his options then? Which are the other political parties can he go to? The Trinamool Congress, because they seem to be on a national footprint, and therefore they're looking at politicians from other political parties. And therefore, will Varun Gandhi find a space for himself? But why would he want to join a party which is largely being seen as a regional party? He's already a member of parliament. He doesn't have to enter the parliament through the route of Rajya Sabha. So I think my analysis, the how much I have worked with and observed Varun Gandhi, and in that sense, he's someone who's very nice to talk to. He can be very affectionate, but he's also someone who's got a mind of his own. His silence, someone means that he's bidding for his time, but it also reflects his restlessness. It also shows that he's clearly unhappy. And each time he's speaking out against the BJP in an oblique manner, there's clearly a thought to the process. Today, when you look back at the mother and the son, it's very clear that they are no longer in the game of the BJP. Most probably, Menaka will not even get a ticket the next time round. And one doesn't know if the BJP would even want to give a ticket to Firoz Varun Gandhi. Then what happens to his political future? He's one politician who's never going to say, I'm giving up. He's going to write his books, he's going to share his thoughts, he's very articulate, but he's never going to indulge in Ji Hazuri, which is really interesting because the Gandhis are synonymous with Congress. Congress is synonymous with Ji Hazuri and sycophancy. This is something which Firoz Varun Gandhi has never liked, and he's been very open about it whenever he has spoken to me. In fact, he would tell me, I don't even say Ji Hazur to my mother. Why will I listen to anyone else? Which is why he's likely to be a misfit in the Congress party. If he ever joins the Congress, after the honeymoon period is over, the harsh reality will hit him that he also be an outcast in the Congress party, just as he is in the BJP at this point of time. So that suffocation, restlessness in Firoz Varun Gandhi is very interesting to watch out for. He's a rebel in the BJP, which is not used to encouraging rebellion, but he's one of those savvy, restrained rebellion. What is his future then if he remains with the BJP? As I said, one is not too sure that he's going to get ticket the next time round, and also one is pretty sure that in the heat and dust of UP elections, Firoz Varun Gandhi perhaps will not even be a face on the poster. The man who was once the poster boy of the BJP when he joined it, today struggles to find himself a place in that big hoarding called the BJP political party. Watch the space. Do give in your reactions. What do you think? Should he join the Congress party? Should he carve a niche for himself within the BJP? Remain as a rebel and hope for better times? Or should he start looking at other political parties? Or finally, should he actually give up on politics? Thank you so much for watching and keep on giving us your reactions.